Let's talk a little Cavs, guys. They have 10 games left in the regular season. They have 44 wins as it stands today. They play the Charlotte Hornets tonight. This team won 51 games last season, and they took a victory lap. Hey, we won 51 games in the regular season. Let's parade that. That counts for something. It didn't matter in the postseason. But there are 10 regular season games left, Tyvis, G. They have to go 6-4 through the final 10 to reach that 50-win mark again. Can they do it? G, I'll start with you.
I don't – listen, this is my problem. We are the free press, and we are giving these guys outs. This is a beautiful way. I could hear Kobe Altman doing victory laps right now. Back-to-back 50-win seasons is something that, in this league is something to be proud of. This core is continuing to grow together. And I just truly believe that, these guys are going to, have championship aspirations down the line. We just have to be patient. You better don't even try it, Kobe, because I'm going to tell them to rewind this tape early, and you already know what it is. They could possibly get to the 50 wins, but at the end of the day, that ain't what we're looking for.
I agree.
We ain't looking for none of that. LeBron James, again, I just want to let y'all know, it's not like we haven't been here. LeBron James won 66 wins here.
That's crazy.
66. Do you know how? That's like watching TV every game and they never lose. We've seen that. So, and they lost in the conference finals to the Magic, right? We never got to capitalize off that. So they may do it. They may, get 50 wins and congratulations. But the Knicks is looking at y'all. Winter's coming.
Tyvis?
A half game behind us.
50 wins for the Cavs, yes or no?
I looked at their last 10, and I know they got 4 guarantees. And the Cavs like to do this thing where they get so inspirational against some of these better teams, and they're going to pull it off. So I would say, yeah, they're going to get the 50 mark, but I'm with you. I could care less about that at all. What y'all need to do is once y'all get close, y'all need to start playing the schedule game and looking at the playoff tree and say, we try to play Indiana or whatever y'all do. That's what y'all need to be doing and figure out how to the seeding game and get the right seed. That's what y'all need because that's important.
Well, the issue with that though, Ty, is 6, 7, and 8.
It's all right.
It's
there.
all in within a game and a half. So while the Cavs may be looking to play the seeding game now, you may be positioning yourself to play the 3-6 matchup, but the 6 seed could rotate between 3 teams. Ideally, the Cavs want to play Indiana in the first round.
Yes.
That is the ideal matchup. They play them in the second to last game of the regular season. And I do think this team, though, does get to 50 wins at the end of the day. You look at this 10 games they have left, if you want to pull that schedule back up. They play Charlotte twice.
Yep.
You better beat Charlotte tonight, and you better beat Charlotte to end the regular season. They're essentially trying to lose to better their draft pick. After that, that's a gauntlet, by the way.
Yes.
Philadelphia is tough. Embiid won't be back, but they're fighting for their playoff positioning. They beat the Cavs in Cleveland the last time they played here. That's never an easy game. Then you have Denver, the best team in basketball right now. I guess you could say the Celtics as well, but the best team in the West, the 1 seed in the West. Utah is frisky. That is not an easy place to play. They're usually significantly better in Salt Lake City than they are on the road. By no means an easy game. Phoenix, they're fighting to stay out of the play-in in the West. Think about this. A team with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal may not be a top 6 seed. That's how deep the Western Conference is. You fast forward to the next 10 games, you have a back-to-back in L.A., the Lakers fighting for a playoff spot, literally a playoff spot. The Clippers fighting to have home court advantage in the first round with the Pelicans. That's the 4-5 right now. And then you finish with 3 games. Memphis, who wants to lose. Indiana, we'll see what happens. They should win those final 3 games. So if you take those 3 final games as dubs, you take the Charlotte game tonight as a dub.
4.
That's 4 of the 6 you need to get to 50. You have to go 2-4 against the rest. The Cavs are too good of a team not to go at least 2-4 against those teams. Hell, they should be 4-2, frankly, 3-3 at worst. But I'm giving them 4 wins, so getting the math together, I do think this team ends up finishing the season with 51 regular season wins, which is a great thing, except it doesn't matter because the playoffs is what truly matters with this team. Anything before then doesn't frankly move.
I don't like none of the matchups. I don't Kenny the Jet Smith always talks about it. Who has the best player in that series? Who has the best player in that series?
Donovan Mitchell's better than Halliburton.
We ain't seen Donovan Mitchell.
Halliburton's hurt too, so you're getting 2 hurt guys.
You don't like them against the Pacers?
No.
Really?
No, I don't like them against the Pacers.
I think that's a little,
they should win that 4-2.
I mean, what's the season series?
They beat them last time they played.
They lost to them in the beginning of the season during the play.
They
right?
should win that series
Play-in.
4-2.
I'll look it up right now. I think it's 2-1, but I could be wrong.
We just saw them play Miami get beat by 40.
They
That
should
scares
win
me.
that series 4-2. They lose to the Pacers, it's done.
Listen,
It's done. I'm gonna
call
just tell you that right now.
I think it's an even series.
It's not.
I mean,
If Donovan's healthy, the Cavs should be favored and should win. It would be a giant disappointment if the Cavs did not beat
if
Indiana in the
Donovan
first
Mitchell
round.
is not healthy and he is 75%,
They still should win.
They still should win because
They
Halliburton's not healthy either.
listen, I'm going to give you this. 76ers, nightmare.
Yeah,
I don't even think they match up against the Magic that well.
Pacers lead the regular season series 2-1.
Okay? We already know what the Knicks is. Bucks, Celtics, stop playing. So you telling me now, out of all the teams that make it in the East, you don't like the matchup against the Sixers, the Heat? I'll give y'all the Pacers, the Magic.
I like that
Knicks.
matchup against the Magic.
I do too.
Why?
I mean, it all comes down to Donovan's health. It all comes down to Donovan's health. But
You scared of the Magic?
Listen,
I don't get me wrong. They playing really well. Don't get me wrong.
they're young.
And
they
Ben
got-
Carroll's doing his thing.
They got young legs.
But stop it.
But here's the thing. They too young not to even understand it. Like, when you go play the Cavs, it ain't like, oh, my gosh.
The Magic hasn't played in the playoffs in like 20 years.
So let me give
That's
you
I'm
this.
over-exaggerating.
If you play in the Cavs, what are you scared about?
Donovan Mitchell.
And if Donovan Mitchell ain't 100%, what you scared of? Nothing. You ain't going to be like, oh, they going to shoot us out the gym. They're not going to out-physical you. They don't got a secondary squad that's going to get 40.
Jarrett Allen ain't going to out-physical you?
No.
He getting 20-20s now.
Listen, it's not the Magic are not a great matchup on paper for
They're
Orlando.
not.
Orlando has two legitimately elite defenders. Suggs, the guard, one of the best defensive guards in all of basketball. Jonathan Isaac, who's finally healthy right now,
Jonathan Isaac.
is probably the single best defensive player in the entire NBA. He can only play 10, 15 minutes a game. They're still slowly working their way back in from injury. But they have two guys who can take out anybody. However, to Tyvus's point, Orlando's proven nothing in the playoffs. Like, absolutely nothing.
And we have?
I'm not saying. Hold on. I'm not saying.
And where did that trophy come from?
I'm not saying the Cavs have.
we are the more experienced
But
team
it does take.
It
Typically, some teams, some very special teams, jump the curve on that. But
The
a lot of
Hawks?
times,
The Hawks a couple year jump.
the
when they
Warriors
went
a couple
to-
years ago. But in most cases, and I don't think Orlando's a special team. I think they're a promising team, but not special. It takes what we saw what happened to the Cavs last season, a playoff shell shock of this ain't the regular season anymore. We're not necessarily sure what to expect, and they don't even have the veteran leader that the Cavs had in Donovan last season to theoretically usher them into that next stage. So that's what worries me about the Magic from that standpoint. But
And we are.
without Donovan, the Cavs are screwed. We talked about this time and time again. Like, unless Darius finds a 2022 version of himself, unless Jarrett Allen continues to play at this incredible level he's kind of found this season, and unless JB figures out how to kind of reinvigorate this offense without Donovan, if 45's not on the court, it's going to be a short and disappointing playoff run.
I don't like the Miami matchup.
Hell no. No, you don't. You don't wanna see Miami?
Yeah, what's
No.
wrong with you?
It's just, and it's a shame because when you're a secondary player,
Is Tyler Hero coming back?
He's supposed to be back at some point.
I mean, when you're Darius Garland, you're the secondary player, and the main player's out. You're supposed to be consistent in 26, 27, 28 points.
Yeah, he struggled.
I can't believe
He struggled.
what he's been
been bad
doing.
this year.
I mean,
He's been
it's to the point where it's like, dude, like,
Yeah, no, it has not been good.
dude, what are you doing? Like, you got to show, and the funny thing is, everybody knows you got the ability to do it because you did it. You like a couple weeks ago, you had like 26, 28 point games. And like your last like 5 or 6 performances,
These little 12s and 13s.
I'm like, dude,
That ain't it. That's not
what are you doing?
Well, speaking of Darius, we saw against Miami, they completely threw Darius and the entire team, frankly, and JB Bickerstaff included, out of a loop, right? They did some things defensively that Cleveland hadn't seen, and they didn't even look prepared for. It's a copycat league in the NBA. You know, same thing in the NFL. You do something one week, the next team sees it, they implement it. Right, Tyvus? That's how it works in football.
Yes.
In basketball, it's an even quicker turnaround. And Charlotte tried to do a few things against the Cavs on Monday, similar to what Miami tried to do on Sunday. The difference is Charlotte's not nearly as good of a team. Defensively, they're not nearly as good individually. and the Cavs were able to take advantage. So I got a couple clips. You guys want to see a couple clips of
Yes,
what
sir.
Darius actually did? This is not just Darius. This is Darius. This is a big-to-big oop. We got 3 we'll break down real
Who
quick.
is you, LeBron and JJ Redick?
We're doing a little try. We figured we'd try. We was going to do this on the
rolling.
Me and Jason were going to do this on the Cavs show last night. We ran out of time, so we figured
Rolling,
we'd throw it in
McNuggets.
here. All right. This is how Darius attacked some drop coverage yesterday. If you guys aren't familiar with what drop coverage is, it's when in a pick-and-roll situation, the guy guarding – play the clip, Ant, whenever you're ready. Yeah, the guy guarding the screener, in this case, it is Nick Richards, drops off, giving Darius plenty of room to operate. That's a wide-open 3 that he hasn't been making. But if that shot's open, he's got to shoot it every single time. Every single time. We'll see it again. They're going to give you that much room, Darius. You have to step up, make that shot, or they're going to just continue to play way off you. They did it again in the second quarter. He comes off. Instead of shooting it here, he tries to get 2 feet in the paint. A beautiful pass to Karis LeVert because he's wide open. I'm going to show you what Nick Richards did to get lost. Nick Richards, not a great defensive player. Watch number 4. Ty, you know how you talk about the spinning what? Yeah, he realized he completely lost anybody. So if they're going to play drop coverage off Darius like this, he's got to make them pay. You got to make the defense pay. And in those 2 instances, whether it's a shot, getting 2 feet in the paint, that's how he was able to take advantage of it against Charlotte. Now, the other coverage Miami used was they blitzed him to try to get the ball out of Darius's hands. Now, he is an over-dribbler at times. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Now, against blitz coverage, hey, take the next clip whenever you're ready. Against blitz coverage, you can't hold the ball too long. Here's Darius in 2 different situations, making quick decisions, which leads to open buckets for Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Here's the first one. Defender steps out, boom.
That's a nice move.
That's a nice little pocket pass.
Yeah.
Not a lot of space, gets it through. Defense can't recover in time. Mobley gets an easy deuce. But importantly to watch, how quickly he makes that decision. Here he is, 2-3 dribbles, goes right past Pajemski, forces the help, dump off. 1-2 dribbles and go, Darius. Now, he took one before that, before he actually went to set it up. Fine. But it's the quick decision-making Darius has to implement to hopefully get himself in some rhythm. When he's taking 5, 6, 7 dribbles going side to side, it's taking time off the shot clock. They're not getting good offense. Move on to the next one, Ant. Let's keep this thing rolling. We got 3 or 4. This was my favorite play from the entire game. Check out this big-to-big alley-oop here in a sec. They blitz this screen. Allen to Mobley, dunk city. If that's a shooter in the corner, I'll show you here in 1 sec. That could be an open 3. In this case, it's a dunk. But they blitz the screen. What does he immediately do? Kicks it to Jarrett Allen. Wide open. In the middle of the paint. If that's Max Strus in the corner, if that's George Niang, open 3 ball, that's his defender. Mobley's not a shooter, comes in, big-to-big hoop, can't draw it up any better than that. But once again, it was the quick decision-making by Darius. Comes off the screen, 1 dribble, out his hand. You can't rotate quickly enough to get back to defend that. And here's the last clip just for fun here. This has nothing to do with Darius Garland. This is just George Niang being a really smart basketball player, turning Miles Bridges into a top here. I'm going to spot shadow him on a sec. You may not notice anything on the first thing, but we're going to spot shadow Miles Bridges. Check out the slight relocation here of George Niang. That's Miles Bridges. He's guarding George Niang. Keep an eye on him right there. George, 2-3 steps. That's a full spin. Tyvis, remember when we were looking at the oops, I effed up play upstairs?
Rayshawn Jenkins.
Oop, I lost the assignment.
Yeah,
he drops his head. He knows he screwed up. That was just the Cavs executing offensively. They took what they learned against Miami. They tried to make some fixes against Charlotte. It worked against Charlotte. Charlotte is here defensively. Miami is here. We got to see him do it against good teams, but at least it was positive to see JB, Darius, Evan, and everyone on that offense kind of come together. All right, this is what they did to us. How can we counter it? They countered it against Charlotte. We'll see if they can do it against better teams, but at least it was a step in the right direction after that absolute debacle on Sunday night.
Well, it lets you know that, first of all, when you see that, it shows you that Darius can be a really good point guard. And the good thing is that he learned from what Miami did. When Charlotte came and he saw it again, he was able to make better decisions this time. So it shows you that he has the ability and he's learning. Maybe this helps him become better in the playoffs because they're going to blitz him in the playoffs.
Well, when they come with that blitz, they're not going to sit back off that pick and roll.
No, they're going to play it better, but at least his mind is sped up. You know, I was listening to LeBron talk about it today as I was driving in today.
Great podcast, him and JJ.
Yeah, him and JJ. They was talking about it, and he said, I've been on the court, and people was like, let me get forward. They want to play ones. Everybody want to play one-on-one. He's like, no, we're going to double team you because you got 40 points. And he was like, I want to know what you going to do when we send this double team to you. All right, now you got to speed your mind up and make decisions. And that's exactly what Darius was doing. They blitzed him, and he was like, all right, I got to get rid of the ball. And he was able to make the right decisions. And now, once you blitz somebody and you're able to make the right decisions, you need that other other guy, like the oop to Mobley that Jarrett Allen threw, his mind was sped up, which we talked about a couple days ago, that Jarrett Allen is actually really good
passer in that
a good passer this year. So he actually knows what to do with the ball. Obviously, when you have Donovan Mitchell out there, you'll always have that outlet because that's what the Knicks did. They blitzed Donovan.
And they made Darius
do the
backside,
stuff.
yeah.
So at the end of the day, you'll be a little bit more comfortable when Donovan is out there. But it's nice to know that if you are the guy that they decide to blitz, you know what to do. And you're getting your team ready. That's what it's about. Seeing these looks now, trying to go against all these looks, and let your teammates know how you're going to respond to this. So when the playoffs come, it's not foreign to them. Everybody's like, what are you doing? We need to know how you're going to play towards this in the playoffs so we know how to react as a team. We know how to get to these open spots so we'll be better for you in the playoffs. And it's nice that the Cavs is learning these things towards the back end of their season. So when they go against these teams in the playoffs and they do things, players know how to react to it.
Did he lose you, G?
No.
You're just not buying anything to the playoffs.
Like,
You're just not. Hey, that's fair. I can't even fault someone for doing that.
well, here's the thing, because people take that next step. Like when you see them on that next step,
Said, did he lose you?
like when you come to that next step, and it's like, they blitzing you, they get the ball out of your hands, you dribbling around, turnovers is picking up, maybe your shots is not falling. What are you gonna do? Like, I know in the playoffs, you need superstars. You don't need role guys. Superstars is what you need, because role guys disappear from game to game, right? That's why LeBron is always saying, well, I gotta make a decision whether I'm gonna be aggressive or I'm gonna let the game come to me. He's more aggressive on the road because you got to keep your team in the game on the road. Like, you might get blown out. Like, in playoffs, the game could be over in the first quarter. Yeah. It's done. So what you need to do at home is I got time I'm gonna facilitate. I'm gonna get Strus 6 points. I'm gonna get Isaac Okoro a couple points here, make sure he playing defense. Let me get out in transition. Maybe get a couple of threes from Darius, and then all of a sudden the game is a little easier for the role players. But my thing is this: he's gonna have to, if the Cavs want to make a run or they want to win a first round series, he's going to have to be 24, 25 points. 19, 18 ain't good enough. And you're going to need Donovan to be at his 28. Those stars got to have them points, because you can't count on the Dean Wades and the Strus and the Niangs from game to game in the playoffs. Yeah. So he's going to have to work on that.
Yeah, I think it's for Darius a lot, it's just the processing. Yep. And the quick decision making. When he plays with pace and tempo, I think he's a lot better than when he tries to slow the game down.
Being very intentional. Like, one of them, you saw, is 1-2, pass. 1-2, I'm to the rack. Yeah. Oh, you sagging off, I'm pulling up. It got to be automatic. Yep. Sometimes when he slow it down and he trying to probe and do a Steve Nash thing, like Jason said, that ain't your game, bro.
No. And with Donovan back, and he's expected to be back, JB has said once again, no exact timetable for Donovan, Strus, and Dean Wade, but they're all expected to be back for the end of the regular season. Before
I let you do that, how many? If you had to ask right now, who's in a rotation for the playoffs? Because I don't know. I
think he plays 8, assuming everyone's healthy. Donovan, Darius, Strus, Allen, Mobley, Isaac, Karis, and
Niang.
Dean Wade or Niang. You have your hot hand.
Yeah.
Your hot hand. If you need more defense, Wade. If you need more offense, Niang.
I think so. Dang, Sam Merrill ain't even in.
Well, listen. When Merrill shoots 44%, he has to be in the rotation. He has not shot 44% since that 20-game stretch. He's about 37 since.
What is he on for the whole season?
Like 41. Which is still very good.
Still crazy.
But since that unbelievable hot streak, he's cooled off a little bit. And if he's not making shots, and you know me, I'm the biggest Sam Merrill fan on the show. I think he's a phenomenal player. We got to get him on the show. It's my off-season goal. We're going to get Sam Merrill in. I want to do a shooting contest with Sam Merrill. But
that'd be great.
I'm going to get my ass kicked.
Smoke.
I'm going to get my ass kicked, but I think it'd be a lot of fun. He doesn't offer enough outside of his shooting that if he's not an elite, shooting at an elite level, in the playoffs, they're just going to hunt him. They're going to hunt him.
We're only looking for small spurts, McNuggets. We ain't looking for like 10, 15 minutes.
So you said that stars win games?
Yes.
In a 7-game series, and LeBron's the perfect example of this, LeBron's going to win you 3 of those games. Yeah. Role player's going to win you 1 game. And it could be a Sam Merrill game.
Yeah.
It could be a George Niang game. He had 5 threes against Charlotte last night.
Or Karis
It could be a Karis LeVert game.
Play game 6.
So it is all imperative that you need your stars at their best, but then it's the role guys who do come on and step in, and Jason died on this hill last year. Danny Green's going to win a Cavs a playoff game, and Danny Green did not. But if you look at the Knicks,
we should have got.
Did Isaiah Hartenstein win a game? Did Josh Hart win a game for them?
Hart won one.
Yes.
So
Duncan Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson.
Duncan Robinson. I just mixed 2 cats. That cat is actually good. Duncan Robinson.
He got a jumper.
That means he got a jumper and he physical like that and block shots. Duncan Robinson is like elite low key. All defensive team.
He an elite shooter.
But
talking about the dude from the Heat?
I'm saying Duncan Robinson and mixed with Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, mixed. That'd be ridiculous.
Duncan Robinson is crazy.
Elite shooter that can grab boards and hold the paint down. That's ridiculous.
Crazy. That's crazy.